Hi, good morning. Uh, Today I'll be speaking about some of the design parameters while establishing a firm. And there are many design factors per firm which usually the promoters decide during establishment and commencement of operations. Farm size is one such important factor on which I have been conducting my research with respect to long-term survival and growth of farms, making them sustainable in the intergenerational terms. Intergenerational, when I'm talking about, uh, it is like the farm should survive anything more than 30 to 40 years. Many of the farms we find that they perish just in 10 years, even less. Uh, Many scholars have been researching in this area, and my research through field study of many farms have made me believe that smaller farms are more sustainable and can survive generations while doing well for all its stakeholders. My findings have been reinforced through earlier Sumaker or Limits to Growth by Meadows, where they try to establish the fact of staying small to be sustainable. There is another study published in a book by Bo Burlingham on 14 different farms which are operating in United States of America, which is the heartland of capitalism, and their large farms are considered to be the good farms. They are more productive. But these 14 farms have been really doing well, and many of them are there for over 100 years. On the contrary, most of the Fortune 500 companies who do not have any shortage of cash, any shortage of capital, on an average, they do not survive for more than 10 to 15 years. Uh, when firm is small, the relationship between all stakeholders are deeper, with mutual interdependence and stronger interconnectivity, which would enhance trust, cooperation, and transparency, where everyone would love to work as a single team to promote the fulfill the purpose of the firm. As it starts growing big, the stakeholders would transfer from human actors to human resources. So actors become resources, and resources can be treated like any other resources. They can be like other resources like capital, infrastructure, inventory, and they need to be managed well for optimal results. This would result in creation and enforcement of rules and policies for keeping the large entity under control. In contrast, smaller firms would rather follow norms and cordial relationship to achieve the purpose. Tighter control would possibly be detrimental to the trust and cooperation, and stakeholders might not be converging on the same idea for achieving the goal, which would lead to untimely demise of the firm. The other argument in this context would be the only constant in the external environment is continuous change. The change can be incremental, the change can be radical. And the change might happen in technology, might be even in market, social belief, political structure, government policies, economic cycles, and so on. A large firm would develop a level of rigidity through operational controls, and it might not be able to adapt to the changing environment as fast as it is expected to. On the other hand, smaller firms can be much more agile and dynamically capable to take on any such changes and can survive for a long period of time. Therefore, I would conclude and tell all the business promoters to keep their firms smaller for better performance. People might say that I am against scaling up, but this might not be the case. It is good to grow, but before planning to scale up, one needs to adjust utilization of firm's capabilities to get advantage of economies of scope rather than scale. And when the time is ripe for the larger scale, it would be advisable to grow in modules through addition of smaller units, which can be strategic business units with architectural and deliberate interconnection for common development of competence rather than creating one single large unit. And the larger unit might make the firm lose its dynamic advantage. So I would say again that keep your firm small to perform better. Thank you so much.